The Dream to Live Forever by Let Me Read You a Story. Nothing that is good lasts forever. These were words that never settled well with Anna. In the 4 decades she had been on this earth, she had always aspired to stop the clock and live forever. For years she spent every waking hour toiling away in her lab, trying to crack the secret to immortality. But no matter how hard she tried, she always came up short. But recently, becoming a mother to her little boy Tim, she decided she didn't want to miss a moment of her son's life, and so she stepped up her efforts to cure death once and for all. She trialled hundreds of serums, one after the other, but none were ever right. She grew angry with herself. Another test, another failure. Over and over, the cycle would repeat itself. One day she brought Tim into the lab. Whilst trying to prepare another vial, her son, trying to make her laugh, knocked the table and the vial fell and smashed. Anna burst into a rage, shouting at him. Tim hid away, leaving Anna to clean up the mess. If only I could stop my anger getting in the way, I could progress much faster, she thought to herself. And that's when it hit her. That's exactly what she was going to do. Remove her anger. In no time, she formulated and underwent the procedure to remove her anger, and like some kind of spell had befallen her, she rushed back to her work and steamed forward like never before. With her mistakes no longer bothering her, she quickly made a fresh batch, and joy of joys, the results were positive. She knew that she had achieved something and should have been happy, but something was missing. Joy. She should be jumping for joy, but for some reason, something was amiss. Continuing, she came to the next phase of her tests, injecting herself. She prepared the first test and readied herself, but nothing could prepare her for the pain, and she had to stop. She prepared herself again, but just as before, the pain became too much. She pondered for a moment, thinking, what could she do? How could she end the pain? And then it hit her. She could take away her pain. Removing her ability to feel physical pain, she could take the serum with ease, not even feeling a prick. Again, the results were positive. Tim, still hiding from her, reappeared to see what was going on. Anna, having calmed down, embraced him in a loving hug. But again, something was wrong. She could not feel him in her arms. She stroked her hand across his cheek, but felt nothing. She returned to work, but for all the great progress she was making, she could not help but feel sad. Sad that she had lost the bridge between her and her son. She tried to turn her attention back to work, but every time she saw her boy, the one she had been doing all this work for, she could only feel sad, and so she knew what she had to do. Remove her sadness. No longer able to feel sad about her choices, she spread through with little ability to think of anything other than her work. For days on end, dusk till dawn, she worked herself until she fell asleep. With each positive trial, she got closer to achieving her goal. Though something was still wrong. She couldn't put her finger on it, but something was still building inside her, something waiting to burst. She was now so close, but the last result she needed seemed to escape her. Time and time again, she built up her expectations, only for them to crash down on her. This time, she said, this time it will work. But again, it failed. She felt something build up inside her, a sense of hatred. Hatred at her machines, hatred at the world, hatred at herself, that for everything she had put herself through, she still couldn't do it. Having enough of hating herself, she knew only one solution: to no longer feel hate. With her sense of hate gone, there was truly nothing to get in the way. Now she could finish the greatest achievement of her life. She readied the final test and waited. It passed. She had done it. She had cured death. She could live forever. Her son saw the results and smiled at her. You did it, Mum. You did it. Now we can live forever. But there was no smile on her face. In fact, there was no emotion at all. Not even the faintest sign that she was even alive anymore. In removing her anger, she could no longer feel joy. In no longer feeling pain, she could no longer feel pleasure. With no sadness comes no happiness. And now, with no ability to feel hate, she could no longer feel love. Not even for her son, that she had worked so hard to save, to be with him forever. But in creating life in which she could live forever, she created a life in which no one would want to. Thank you for watching. If you enjoyed this video, please consider liking and subscribing to hear more from this channel.